Welcome to the Weekly Stash. My name's Steve McGauley, and with me, as always, is Joseph Gaggle and Ed Garrett. How you guys doing tonight?
All right, how are you?
Doing fantastic. Lots of fun stuff always happening in comics every week. So let's just get right to it. Well, let's not get right to it. We've got a new project that Ed started. And
Sure.
we've been toying around with it and bouncing off some people off Twitter, and a lot of people seem interested. And so with the advent of NCAA March Madness, all the brackets getting announced tonight, we thought that it would be fitting that we announce our own bracket on Sunday evening of our own kind. Not basketball related, but comic book related. Ed, why don't you give us all the details?
All right, this is a DC versus Marvel Superhero March Madness. We've got 4 regions, each named after a top comic book writer. We've got the Jeff Johns region, the Gail Simone region, the Kelly Sue DeConnick region, and the Dan Slott region. What we've done is, in order to assure that when we get to the Final Four, we've got at least 1 or 2 from each of the 2 publishers, we sort of divided it up, where 2 of our regions are sort of intra-squad scrimmages, where it's DC and DC, Marvel and Marvel. And then 2 of our regions, though, start the head-to-head battles from the very beginning. The very first polls are going up tonight. In fact, by the time you see this podcast, if you're not looking at it live, you will see those brackets up. It'll have Superman versus Thor. It will have, let me make sure I've got everything right, Batman versus Power Girl, Wolverine versus Starfire, and Captain America versus Nova. But that's just the start of it, because tomorrow it starts to get a little tighter. We'll have Wonder Woman versus Jean Grey. Later battles, we'll have some really tough ones in the round 1, where you've got to choose between which Archer do you like best, Hawkeye or Green Arrow. You'll choose between Green Lantern and Iron Man. And we've got a variety of characters in here. It's hard to choose just 64 characters, especially if you want to have some variety. So we've got some interesting characters thrown in that you might not expect, and some other ones that were tough to leave out. For example, on Joe's side, we've got the Superior Spider-Man, but not the Peter Parker Spider-Man. We've got Superman, but not Supergirl. But we've got Power Girl. We've got, different ones who have been Flash over the years, but not all of them. So you'll have a chance to sort of take a look, see who you want to be for. It's strictly decided by our followers. So get on there, vote. We'll start the voting early tonight, but beginning Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time is when we'll switch votes to end one set of votes, start the others, and announce the winners. So if you'll keep checking in with us, we're going to have new votes every day except Sundays, which is our podcast day. And we'll generally have 4 polls up each day for you to choose from. The last Sunday, though, is when we will go ahead and announce the final winner on April 6th, live on this podcast. So be checking in with us when it comes time for that, and we'll have the final winner of the DC versus Marvel Superhero March Madness contest then. Hopefully it'll be a whole lot of fun. We're going to stay very busy getting this thing going.
It's going to be awesome. I'm very much looking forward to it. I can't wait to get in on this, and we hope that we can get as many people as possible. We know, I think, Ed, you said Gail Simone even was talking about it on Twitter.
Yes. And that's pretty cool, since we've got one of our region's names helping us out a little bit with the publicity. And so we're going to have some fun. In fact, some of her favorite characters are in there, including one from the movement. Virtue is in there. So we've got a lot of interesting matchups. We also have in one of the other regions Deadpool versus Lobo, so that'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be a hard choice, I got to tell you.
Come on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going Deadpool versus the main man. What do you want to do? It's a tough one.
It's going to be fun. That's why we want everyone else to decide for us.
That's exactly it.
I will still be voting. I ain't gonna lie. But we will not
Tell
be.
your
We will not have. We will all get our one votes. Just so everyone knows, we will have our one votes, and we will be voting actively. I assure you. But we will not have any other input on this whatsoever. So get on there, vote, share your thoughts on Twitter, share your thoughts in the comments of each post every day. Ed should have those coming. Like I said, he said 11 p.m. Eastern time every night. They'll be recycling, and we'll get the new votes up. So
the brackets are up right now. The voting starts soon. Just please signal boost. Give us an extra boost on your own Twitter feeds, and we'll look forward to seeing you come on the side and make your choices.
Well, I'll give you a snapshot of what we've got here right now. This is what we're looking at bracket-wise. I don't know if you can see my screen there. But that's it. That's our brackets. So they're up on the website. Check it out. And let's get on to the news for the week. So Wolverine had an interesting story this week. What is going on in the world of Wolverine?
Well, lately Wolverine has lost his mutant healing factor, making him very killable. And after losing an epic battle to his nemesis, Sabretooth, he eventually kind of left the X-Men. And in this new volume, he's with a new team, kind of more of a rogue team. And in this most recent issue, he was having flashbacks to his last days with the X-Men as he basically ran out in the middle of a battle. A lot of it, I think, is due to some of the fear that he's been experiencing. Also, his mortality now changes the entire group dynamic. They've never had to worry about him before. Now they've got to think about him. And I think he doesn't like that. And so he basically leaves him, and he's got a new, currently in this new volume, he's got new armor. He's using a gun now. Also, he's kind of not...
What do you think of Wolverine using a gun? That is not the Wolverine everybody knows. Why? Do you agree with? Do you think Wolverine should be using a gun? He's got fucking lasers coming out of his arm.
I kind of do, because he's evolving. He's trying to adapt to the situation he's in. He can use his claws now, but it probably hurts, and it probably takes more time for it to heal, because he can't heal now. So he's got to go, what do I got to do to, and actually in the past issue, he goes to Black Widow for an Avenger, a fellow Avenger, and gets a little training from her with the gun. So I think he's doing what he has to do, and ultimately what I think he's trying to do is build himself back up to where he can face Sabretooth again and then move on with his life doing whatever.
When do you see that epic battle coming up?
I think it's coming, but I think they're gonna stretch it a good 7 or 8 issues before they finally meet head to head.
That'll be something to look forward to. See how Wolverine decides to evolve. It'll be definitely a different take on the character. Anything else in the world of Marvel, Joe?
Well, coming up this next week, we've got Superior Spider-Man Annual number 2, a brand new Ghost Rider series with a car instead of a motorcycle. New Nova Unchained, Wolverine and the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, and the Rings of the Mandarin starts in Iron Man. Pretty exciting stuff.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. What seems to be going on with DC? We probably had bigger news in DC this week than we did Marvel for sure. What's happening with Superman and Lois Lane?
Well, not much Lois Lane these days. He's over with Wonder Woman, and there is a big reveal in this issue of Superman and Wonder Woman. They've been building up to it for the first 6 issues. Superman finally tells Wonder Woman that he loves her. It's actually a really well-written issue. They've been building up to it. The reply is classic. She says, "Of course you do." So it's perfect. She has been telling him, though, that they each other shelter from the storm. I mean, their relationship has really been building. Charles Soule is writing a better book in Superman Wonder Woman than either of their solo titles. Tony S. Daniels doing the art. It's fantastic artwork. This is a wonderful story, and it's not simply a romantic story. There's a huge amount of action in here. Wonder Woman really comes across with the nobility that comes with being now the god of war. That's a fairly recent development in E52. She's got a warrior's mentality. She's really more self-assured. She knows who she is more than Superman knows who he is. He's torn between his Clark Kent identity and his Superman identity, though he's more emotionally open, which is why he says, I love you first. At the end of that issue, though, there's a big, huge scene that leaves in doubt whether they're even going to survive. And yeah, I know, they're not going to kill them off. But it's a great story. It's one of my favorite books in the entire New 52 right now, and I did not expect that to be the case. Coming up this week, though, we've got three interesting ones. One is Wonder Woman 29, where she's really taking on the mantle of God of War. Superman Unchained, and the old Batman and Robin series that changed its title to a revolving cast of characters after Damian's death is Batman and Aquaman number 29. Ra's al Ghul has stolen Damian's body from the grave. There's certainly the implication there may be a Lazarus pit involved here somewhere, and Batman's trying to track him down. Then let me go on to the indies real quick, because there is a big week in the indies. Image has a bunch coming out. Aphrodite 9 number 9 is coming out. Ghosted number 8, which is one of my favorite series by Joshua Williamson. Lazarus number 7 by Greg Rucka. Rocket Girl number 4 by Brandon Montclair and Amy Reeder. We actually did them back when it was a Kickstarter. Sex Criminals is coming out from Matt Fraction. 10 Grand from J. Michael Straczynski, which is one of my favorite books. The Saga trade paperback is coming out for Volume 3. Then over at Valiant, we've got Harbinger Bleeding Monk number 0 and Exo Man of War number 23. And then from one of our best friends at the site, Jeremy Whitley at Action Lab, Princel's trade paperback for Volume 1 has a new printing. And I got to tell you, if you want to show a knowledge book that's really worth looking at for any age, show them Princeless. That's the one book that I'm most proud to show to any new fan of any age. It's about a princess who got tired of waiting for her prince to come and save her, and she decides to save herself. It's a wonderful book. And that's sort of the end of the week.
And as far as, well, this falls under Image and what was an indie publisher at one point. The reason you haven't heard us talk much about The Walking Dead, which is my passion project of The Walking Dead, or seen many reviews, because they're holding out on doing a full review of The Walking Dead until the All-Out War is over. We are 9 books in. 10th book hits March 26th, and they're releasing every other week, every 2 weeks. So we will be doing a podcast. I will be doing a huge write-up as soon as the All-Out War is over. It just seems silly right now to post something that is just such a cliffhanger, as most Walking Dead comic books are. But being in the All-Out War, we are waiting till the end. So at the end of the All-Out War, you will have just oogles of coverage from TM Stash. We will do a huge podcast, and I will again have a huge write-up. So be looking for that in April. But that is it. That's all we got for this week with the Weekly Stash. So thank you all for joining us. We appreciate it, and get on the website tonight and start voting and let us know what you think. So get your votes in. And again, my name's Stephen McGauley, and with me is Joseph Gagel and Ed Garrett. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks a lot.
All right. You guys keep reading the stash. Have a good night.